Okay, first item is call to order and roll call. So you want to do roll call, Heather, or you want to? Okay, go ahead.
Dave McGuire,
Here.
Ben Kuiper,
Here.
Doug Haberman.
Here.
Niall called me and said he wasn't able to attend. And he didn't know about Ernie. I don't see him online. Alex Gunnerup,
Here.
Neil Murray,
Present.
and County Commissioner Andy Hunt.
Here.
County Staff Representative Andy Hubbard here. For the Parks Department, we have Superintendent Craig Marr,
Here.
Recreation Manager Kate Paradin here. And who am I missing other than myself? Heather Taylor. And that is 1, 2, 3, 4. You've got 4.
Okay. Well, I don't see anything. Well, don't see much we have to vote on. So
We do have a guest online.
we do have a guess. Yes.
Paul Summerlin is representing the North Valley Park Alliance.
Welcome, Paul.
Hi, thank you. Thanks for having me. My name is Paul. I'm the president of North Valley Park Alliance. As you probably know, that North Star Park, which is out here in the valley, is planning to be developed in the future, and we're proposing that the park be named Guthrie Park because of the location. It's located on Guthrie Street, but also we think it would be great if it was a tribute to A.B. Guthrie Jr., who was a significant writer in Montana. And I prepared a PowerPoint presentation for you here in case you're not familiar with his work. So
Okay, thanks, Paul. Okay, so next item is approval of minutes of the last meeting. Do I have a motion to approve?
I'll make that motion.
Second. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, they're approved. Let's see. Okay, public comment for items pertaining to this agenda. Yes, Paul just made some public comment items pertaining to the agenda. Okay, unfinished business, we have none. Public comment, another opportunity for public comment, and then we can go right into Paul's presentation.
Okay. A.B. Guthrie Jr., a tribute to one of Montana's most significant writers. Alfred Bertram Guthrie Jr., also known as A.B. or Bud, was born in 1901 in Bedford, Indiana. When he was 6 months old, he relocated with his parents to Montana, where his father became the first principal of Teton County Free High School in Choteau. After graduating high school, in 1919, Guthrie studied at the University of Washington for a year, then transferred to the University of Montana, where he was a member of Phi Sigma Kappa fraternity and graduated with a degree in journalism. He worked odd jobs for the next few years. In 1926, Guthrie took out a $300 bank loan and moved to Lexington, Kentucky, where he took a job at the Lexington Leader newspaper. For the next 21 years, he worked as a reporter, the city editor, and an editorial writer for the Leader. Guthrie published his first novel, Murders at Moondance, in 1943. In 1944, while still at the Leader, Guthrie won the Nyman Fellowship from Harvard and spent a year at the university studying writing. While at Harvard, he made friends with English professor Theodore Morrison. Morrison mentored Guthrie and helped him transition from journalism to fiction. At the Lexington Leader, Guthrie's boss was very understanding, and as long as Guthrie performed his new duties satisfactorily, he was allowed to take his afternoons off to write fiction. After publication of The Big Sky, Guthrie left the newspaper and supported himself by teaching creative writing at the University of Kentucky. During this time, he published The Way West, which won the 1950 Pulitzer Prize for fiction.
Guthrie quit teaching in 1952 to devote his whole time to writing and moved back to Shelby, Montana because he said it was his point of outlook on the universe. He split his residence between Choteau and Great Falls, Montana, an hour away from Choteau. Guthrie continued to write predominantly Western subjects. He worked for a time in Hollywood, writing screenplays for Shane, a 1953 movie which was nominated for an Academy Award, and the movie The Kentuckian.
You stand right here. All right, now put your arms on your side. Your holster's too low. Never have your holster at arm's length. Here, let's fix this. You always have it here, where the grip is between the elbow and the wrist. So when your hand comes up, the gun will clear the holster without coming up too high. You see? Now you try it. Real fast. Straight. Oh, that's it.
Gosh, is that the way real gunfighters do?
Oh, Joey. Most of them have tricks of their own. One, for instance, likes to have a shoulder holster. Another one puts it in his, the belt of his pants. And there are some who like two guns. The one's all you need if you use it. No good at all.
Which is the best way?
What I'm telling you is as good a way as any. And better than most.
Let me see you shoot, Jane.
What do you want me to shoot at?
The little white rock over there, see? Gosh almighty, that is good!
You see, Joey? Remember now, when your hand comes up, you still have room to clear your holster.
Shane.
All of us start. I was just teaching Joey how to do a little shooting.
I don't want to do You ought to see Shane shoot now. I did, Joey. He's teaching me to shoot. Yes, I know, dear. Now you run along, get ready for the party. Oh, Mom. Come on, Joey. Guns aren't going to be my boy's life. Why do you always have to spoil everything?
A gun is a tool, man. No better, no worse than any other tool. An axe, shovel, or anything. A gun is as good or as bad as the man using it. Enough.
Over the years, Guthrie published many more writings, including These 1,000 Hills, Blue Hen's Chick, R5, The Last Valley, Fairland, Fairland, Murder in the Cotswolds, A Field Guide to Writing Fiction, The Big It, and many other short stories. Guthrie was also known for editing other well-known writers' work, such as Dan Cushman, a Big Sandy native, in his book called The Great North Trail. Dan Cushman's book, The Great North Trail, is about the lives and adventures of settlers and natives and explorers that used the Old North Trail, a trail that spanned from northern Canada all the way through the United States along the Continental Divide. E.B. Guthrie Jr.'s novels often explore moral dilemmas that are central to the development of his characters and the plot. In his later years, Guthrie would often discuss similar dilemmas with Montanans in Fort Benton. He would hold court over such issues such as land use and ownership, treatment of Native Americans, violence and conflict, loyalty and betrayal, ethical treatment of animals, honesty and deception, ethical leadership, and survival versus mortality. Alfred Bertram Guthrie Jr. died in 1991 at age 90 at his ranch near Choteau, Montana. His work will live on and continue to educate people about what it was like to live in the Wild West during American expansion.
Okay. Thanks for listening to that. Do you guys have any questions about who A.B. Guthrie Jr. was, or why this might be a good reason for us to call the park Guthrie Park?
Paul, this is Doug Haberman, way at the end here. If there's anybody in the room know why it was called North Star Park?
It's because it's inside North Star subdivision there, and I think when they dedicated the parkland to that area, it just inherently took North Star parkland.
Mr. Chair, Paul, Andy Hunthausen here.
Mhm.
I don't really have any issue about it being maybe Guthrie Park, but I do have a question, and maybe it's something Angie can look into too. I don't know if there's any county rules around naming parks, or if there's anything in the subdivision bylaws, or not the bylaws, the covenants that have to be addressed. So I don't know if those have been looked into yet. I don't know what the naming, if there are any naming rules or anything, or if we've looked into those at all, and anything staff has found about naming things.
Mr. Chair, board members, I haven't found anything regarding naming. I mean, the reason it's called North Star Parkland is just because of the parkland dedication for the subdivision. But I haven't looked in the covenants, and so I'll take a look at that. And as far as procedure, I figured after this conversation happened, we'd bring it to the Board of County Commissioners.
Yeah,
But there's no procedure.
it hasn't been a
listed
common thing that
anywhere.
we've done, so I don't know.
There's also the president of the North Star HOA also sits on our board. So if there is something in the covenants, he's already in favor of this name change, and he'll advocate to his board. But if there is something we need to get approved from them, we could definitely discuss it with them if you need us to.
So, Mr. Chair, I guess just to be a little more clear into the weeds, there is a process for like renaming streets and those kinds of things. And I don't know if it's falls under that same kind of process or not. I'm looking at Angie because she's probably the one that will look it up and find out for us from the county side anyway. But those are my questions. So I'd hate to get too far down the road and then go, oh, you can't even do this because of rule such and such. So we should be upfront about finding that out.
Great.
Thanks, Commissioner. Any other discussion, any public comment, or sounds like where this stands is the county will look into it and see what can be done on that.
Great. Thanks for having me. Thanks for your consideration today. Appreciate
Thank you.
Thank you.
Or we don't need any sort of a motion at this point?
I
That'd be premature.
don't think so. I think it might be premature for us to recommend unless you want to make a motion to do
Well, I just go on record as saying I think it's a great idea. And
Mhm.
Guthrie is in my legend, so.
it. Sure. No, it makes sense to me too.
Plus there's a street there already, that makes total
Yeah.
sense. Is the park on the street, Paul?
Yeah, it's on Guthrie Street. Mhm.
So, Mr. Chair, I think it might be helpful for the commission if ultimately we have to make some sort of decision.
So I
That-
entertain a motion for recommendation.
Well, if not now, at least after Angie's research, and says, hey, we can do this, then it might be good, or now, either way, it doesn't really matter, but it would be good to have that at some point if we have to make a decision. What did the park?
We do have a quorum, so I'd entertain a motion if somebody wants to recommend approval pending.
It's okay to do so. I
Yeah,
guess.
it's okay.
I'll make that motion pending research and approval for any naming policy that we recommend that the park be renamed A.B. Guthrie Park.
Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. So good. So we have a spot now for more public comment. What's it?
I was waiting back to Paul. He was waiting.
Now we got full screen Alex, that's kind of nice. It's almost like he's here.
It's like you're there at the.
Alex needs a
table.
PowerPoint presentation.
Okay, any more public comment? Okay, I guess we're down to staff reports. City,
Yeah, I can give a brief report here. So I'm kind of filling in for Doug, the director, when he's gone, and but I've got a few tidbits here. You know, we don't usually talk about the Civic Center, but that's part of the Parks program too. But they have their holiday gift show is starting this weekend, Saturday, 9 to 4. I don't know if you guys been out before, but it's pretty cool. There's lots of Christmas gift ideas and stuff. Went last year, so that's a pretty neat deal. They've got some other events coming up and going on. Open Lands is actually starting to burn today up on I think Mount Ascension. They got permission from the DEQ. Of course, it's all related to the air quality and factors and stuff like that. So trying to get on top of that. They've got a lot of piles to burn this winter, so hopefully they'll be able to get a lot of that done. The golf course are kind of wrapping things up with their, I think they got most of their irrigation blown out right before the storm. Same with park maintenance. We've got our parks pretty much winterized. We've got a couple other ones to do, I think, but everything's okay right now as far as the water being down away from the surface. So it won't freeze. We're heavily doing snow removal, snow and ice. A lot of people don't realize how much snow removal the park maintenance department does. We do the walking mall and all the parks, of course, 20 miles worth of sidewalks and shared use pathways like Benton Avenue, Custer Avenue, all those paved trails. We take care of all those. And then one of the big workload items, of course, is in the walking mall, you can push snow to the sides, but then eventually you have to go in with dump trucks and actually scoop up the snow into trucks and haul it out of there, and that's very time consuming. And we were just doing that yesterday, and I saw they were moving some snow down by Women's Park as well. The Forest Service has implemented, they have an order to implement a camping closure. And so this could affect, I don't know, it's mainly just to keep people from camping outside the city limits. So this is at the Unionville, Park City area. They've got a big block up there of Forest Service property that they are going to restrict camping on. So we'll see how that plays out moving forward. Let's see. Oh, we've got a new event coming up in a couple of weeks. It's a rail jam at Constitution Park. So they're actually it's Great Divide ski area and 10 Mile Brewery are kind of sponsoring it, but they're gonna actually make snow at Constitution Park and have a slope where they can do like take snowboards down and do rail rides. They're not gonna do jumps, but they can do tricks on the rails and stuff. So that might be kind of neat, something different. It'll be interesting to see how the snowmaking goes, of course.
What day is that?
That is
November 10th,
November 10th. Yep, there you go.
Probably 80 degrees.
Yeah.
right?
I hope so.
Or it's the 11th, early 10th and 11th.
10th is the rail jam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
okay.
Friday. It is a Friday.
What's that?
The time?
I don't know if we have time.
Afternoon-ish, probably 5 to 6-ish. I could get you more details on that.
And then
Yeah, it surprised Pat and I that it was on that Friday. It was Friday.
And then the art walk is going on in the Walking Mall as well, that same day and night, Friday. So that's kind of cool to check out. That's about all I have. Anybody has any questions?
Just me, always question. Does any of the share use pass on MDOT right away?
Do any what?
Or any of the share use pass on Department of Transportation right away?
Or any of the what?
Any of the share use pass?
Oh, yes,
Shared use.
like Custer Avenue is maintained by MDD, yeah.
And do you have an agreement with them to?
I think there was an agreement when the path was made initially. They take care, there's another chunk out between East Helena and like Walmart, and then MDT takes care of that section. And they take care of a section out by Cedar by the helicopter. They do some plowing out there, so they do a few chunks, but we do have some agreements where we take care of some of the pathways, and I think moving forward, they're trying to do that. Trying to like Benton Avenue path, they wanted that out of the right of way so that it doesn't come back on them for maintenance, of course.
Yeah.
So.
Thank you.
So as a public comment for you guys, from the pickleball community, they wanted me to express how much fun they had at Barney this summer.
Oh, good.
And, I had a number of folks come to me and say, you know, if we want to do maintenance on that to try to extend the life of that court, there would be volunteers from the pickleball community to help with that.
All right.
I know it's not gonna, that couldn't possibly happen till next summer or fall, but might be something to think about.
Yeah,
and,
give that some thought. Yep.
yeah, so, but they had a ball with several.
Great, great. I'm glad people are using the new courts.
Yeah.
And then I think Kate had a few things did you have something to say about recreation?
Sure. We've got a couple new events coming up in recreation this year. We have a Letters to Santa campaign happening. So there's gonna be a mailbox in this building as well as down at the ice rink where kids can write a letter to Santa and then Santa will respond. They can also apply online for a response from Santa if they can't make it to a physical mailbox. So that'll be going on mid-November through mid-December. And then Recreation will partner with the Open Lands Division to do a community tree decorating at the Mount Helena trailhead. What they found out last year is that it kind of helps if we designate a spot for people to decorate trees on open lands. That way it's all in one place. They can keep an eye on the trash rather than people going out and decorating random trees just throughout the thousands of acres of open land. So we'll be doing a community event December 2nd with a food truck and music and just have a nice Saturday of decorating. So a couple new events in rec coming up. The Mount Helena Trailhead. The Reader's Alley one.
So Santa even writes back.
He does, yeah.
Right.
Yep, he's
Get on that.
special guy.
What was the date for that again?
The December 2nd.
Yeah.
That's gonna be assigned to the Parks Board. The responses.
Oh, geez.
Were you a good kid?
Yeah, because we're so good at writing stuff. Okay, let's see, that was city, now the county staff.
So my updates include Timberworks Parkland has a design proposal narrowed down and it should be brought to you more than likely next month. And the RFP for the master planning of North Star Park, maybe soon to be Guthrie Park, published in the newspaper the 28th, and it'll publish again November 4th, and it closes December 4th, and it's also available online. That's exciting too. So it's moving forward. And that's pretty much it.
Thanks, Angie.
It's good to get your signs or the name of your park figured out before you get the signs made.
Yeah, that would be a great stroke of business right there.
Northgate Park, we put a sign up Northgate Park, and then we were reminded that we'd committed to call it JC Park.
Oh,
So we had to change the signs.
good advice. I appreciate that, Helena.
Okay, so we don't, Commissioner Logan isn't present, but we do have Commissioner Hunthausen. So do you have anything for the good of the?
The only thing I'd add, some may have more knowledge than I, but I can't remember their official name, the Helena area recreation people trying to do the big facility pool and Yeah.
What's the name?
What
of
is
it?
HRSA or
HRSA.
something?
Yeah, Helena.
Helena Regional Sports.
Regional Sports
There you go.
Association, yeah.
So they get more organized and they have been working with the Fair Board and the Fair Board has said we're interested. The county commission has said to the fairgrounds staff
That's
that
county, isn't it?
it is county,
Yeah.
that you're welcome to research the item, but there's been no commitment or anything like that. But one of the Helena Regional Sports Authority, Sports Association, came to my coffee with the commissioner this morning and she was talking about, they're getting more organized, just talking about their planning and they have quite a vision, which would be great. I think the challenges are, of course, money. And not only the money to build it, but the money to sustain it. And it is, their vision now is that it would be built by a combination of private, public partnership. And then it would be a county facility and county run and all of that. So, which it happens all over the country, but it's not without challenges or cost.
The challenge is being winning.
So, there'll be a lot of work to be done and, they're gonna try and come back and make a argument for this is good for the community. The economic return on it is significant enough that it is worth going forward and asking the voters if they want to participate in this for the rest of their lives. And they may say yes. And again, it does happen all over the country. And that's how it's, and really can't build a facility like this. They're talking 80,000 square feet with courts and indoor fields and
A pool too.
Pool.
Right?
yeah, and pool that is competition.
Tens of millions.
Yeah, and like seating for 8,000 people is what they
Mhm.
dream about, so they could hold like tournaments and things like that in Helena, which we can't do right now. So it happens, and the reality is though that the public has to go in with eyes wide open and take that on and say it's important enough for our community. So,
What kind of courts are they?
well, I think they're visioning hardwood courts, and then they may be multi-use. You can do a lot of things on them, but for sure setting them up for basketball and that kind of thing, but other things. And then indoor, you could do early baseball, softball, soccer, all those kinds of things indoor, maybe not regulation size, but at least for practicing and holding drills and those kinds of things. I'm not sure exactly. I haven't looked at and I don't think they have the plans completely done yet, but they're on the way. So I don't know, there's a long way to go before, I'm guessing, if I read my commissioners right, there's a long way to go before they agree to put something on the ballot. But I think they're looking more like 2026, something like that, for being ready to maybe ask for a ballot measure.
They're doing all the feasibility and
Right. They're raising all the money to do that. The county's not putting any in
business
at this
plan.
point. Business plan, feasibility, how, and I asked about, and not only annual costs, but lifetime costs and staffing costs and then, you got to get in and out of the place, and you talk about 8,000 people coming to an event. The city's implicated with streets and in and out as well, and the county, the fairgrounds are all in the city now, so it'll all be city services, built to city standards, parking at city standards, those kinds of things. So, they have to consider all that stuff and make sure that it's thought about, because building the building is one thing.
That's the cheapest part.
Yeah, it is. Even if it's a $20 or $30 million project, it's the cheapest part for the lifetime of the thing. So, anyway.
Are there buildings out there that they would be placing or decommissioning? I don't know how much the fairground can really use for a lot, but unused land and.
Yeah, there's a lot of land. There's plenty of land to do it. You might have to move some things around, but there's plenty of land to do it on. And then we do own, the county owns that, state surplus land that's right at the entrance of the fairgrounds, the old surplus state shops. It's leased back to the state to continue to do what they're doing, but it's a 5-year lease and it should be coming up, and at least they told us they're planning to find a new site for that. That would be redevelopable as well, but that comes with big costs too, and there's some DEQ restrictions there and some deed restrictions to that land. But nothing insurmountable. I mean,
It's just maybe some hazmat cleanup required in that.
yeah, depending on how much you disturb, or if you disturb, and or if it's parking, you can cover things, there's a lot of different things that you might or might not be able to do there, so. But most of those buildings in that section are junk.
Yeah.
Need to be.
There's a trolley in there too, right?
Yeah, and I think the trolley has potential. I think East Helena may want to do something with it. There used to be a route from East Helena, and I didn't know that. And that trolley may have been on that route, so they're talking about displaying it in their historic preservation efforts. So I don't know, we'll see. It's lots of talk, but.
And that part there where the surplus is, would be a great place for additional parking.
Yeah.
Again, you're replacing buildings with parking, but Ryan Field has always been a nightmare when they have their events there, so that would really help the city streets and city flow traffic in that area.
Yeah, parking could be used.
Right across the street.
Could be used for both, both ways. So yeah, and it would be one of the easier and less expensive things to do in terms of cleanup as well, to cap things versus dig a hole. Yeah. And a couple of buildings might be usable for like maintenance and or storage and this kind of thing, but if they were fixed up a bit, but most of them are pretty well junk. So anyway, lots of potential.
Oh, thank you.
We'll see.
Yeah.
They're gonna come forward with more planning and whatnot, but we'll keep you posted, or
Pretty interesting.
someone will.
You have to make a pitch to get some pickleball courts in there.
Yeah,
Our folks are talking. We are
Yeah.
talking with them.
good.
We'll see. We'll see. It's a long way down the road still. Okay, let's see, Helena Schools.
November 10th is gonna be a busy day. We have the Montana State Special Olympics basketball tournament in town. There are 9 of our buildings will be used on Friday as well as Saturday. So people coming from all over the state play basketball tournaments here. So yeah, the 10th will be a very busy time in Helena. And I've been talking with them, meeting with them for the last 6 months about this. Just finalized schedules and things this week. Parking around our schools is going to be a challenge, so you might see additional people parked around places like Central, Bryant, where we don't have those big parking spaces, so you'll see them on the streets a lot more. What else? Confirmed pickleball courts at Capitol High on the tennis courts there.
I can't, the lines are on. Yeah, I heard that. I heard they put lines down.
Confirm that. Other than that, we're just same thing. We're just moving snow, and I'm sure I'll have a long list of slip trips and fall injuries to have to follow up on next week.
It's so icy.
Yeah. So, so that's just our biggest challenge now, and it was kind of interesting to see that transition from people golfing. What was that, Friday? By Monday, everyone's out there.
Yeah,
cross
skiing.
country skiing. So, yeah, it's a kind of a cracking storm to hit us so early in the year, but we're managing, hanging in there.
Thanks. Next thing on the agenda is any public comment on items not on the agenda. I don't think we have any public here other than us. Okay. Oh, this is the announcement. There's board training at the Helena Civic Center on Thursday, November 9th, 2023, 5:30 to 8:30 p.m. Open to all. Is this the same training that we did?
It'll have a different speaker,
But they'll cover the same subjects, the public participation.
Yeah,
Okay.
these are required as an appointee from the city to attend.
Mhm.
And as of now going forward, so that past one doesn't really count.
Oh, well, that's fine.
So going forward now, you're required to take one training per year. There'll be one offered in the fall and one offered in the spring. So if you're unable to attend this one, there will be one
Right.
this coming spring.
Hmm.
I don't know about the county side of it, but the city has certainly done some standardization and.
That is good.
Yeah.
We encourage people to take the trainings, and what we've tried to do too is every couple of years offer some kind of training through the local government center, but please go,
Yeah.
if you can, we encourage it.
Fair enough. All right. Let's see, anybody else, anything for the good of the cause? Okay, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn then.
So. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. We're adjourned.
Hi, Alan.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Bye-bye.